Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Sorry, just fixing that. Today I have a beer from a brewery that I have not done a review for yet. This is from Southern Range Brewing Company out of Monroe, North Carolina. So generally, I'm not a huge fan of these Neapolitan stouts. But I had heard from several people locally that this one was pretty good. And I I have had their beer before. It was only once at a homebrew, or not a homebrew, at a beer festival that I went to shortly after I moved down here just to try some of the local breweries. And they were one of the ones that I actually thought was pretty good. I didn't have this, but a couple other beers that I had from them. But they're kind of they're kind of in the southwest or the southeast side of Charlotte, so it's actually pretty far from where I live. So I've never been to the brewery, but I have wanted to visit, and I only just realized recently that they started canning, so I figured I'd pick this up. So as you can see right there, it's just called Neapolitan Stout. It's a milk stout. It's 5.4 ABV, and there's no description on the can, but I'm guessing it's a stout with cocoa nibs, vanilla beans, and strawberries. Should only make sense for the name, so crack it open and see what we got. Wow, so the way that was pouring was interesting. I mean, it almost looked like Coca-Cola. It was pretty light. You could see at the bottom there that it's actually has like a red hue to it. So it's definitely not like a super dark stout. I would say it's a medium to darker brown color with like an off-white to beige head. So I'm getting some roasty malt, but it's not like super roasty. It's almost like a little estery. I'm not really getting a vanilla or strawberry. So the flavor I would say is mainly vanilla and strawberry. It's not too over the top. Really, my biggest complaint with this is the base beer is so light. I mean, if you can see it, you probably can't really tell from... It looks darker in the camera than it really is, but... I mean, the bottom of this is literally like red. I mean, this is like a... To me, this is more like a brown ale than a stout. And if you call this a Neapolitan brown ale, then I think it's pretty good. So, you know, that's kind of my thoughts on it. It just doesn't drink like a stout based on the flavor and or the body by any means. It's funny, it says it's a milk stout, but there's no it just seems really watery, like even for a 5% beer. Or for a 5% stout at least. It's tough for me because if I'm being completely hedonistic and not considering that it's supposed to be a stout, it's really not that bad, but it's definitely not even really a stout. Either way, it's not bad. I guess you get the flavors that you're expecting. because I am getting vanilla and strawberry for sure. I wouldn't really say that excuse me. I wouldn't really say that I'm getting chocolate, but maybe a little bit. So if they actually made like a pretty good base milk stout and had these flavors on top of it, it would actually be, a pretty decent beer for what it's supposed to be for a lower alcohol stout. But the base beer is really what's dragging it down. And it's kind of a lot of times what I see with these flavors, unless it's from like a big well-known brewery already, a lot of times what I see with these flavored stouts is like, even if the flavoring is spot on, the base beer is terrible. And this one is not terrible. It's still, there's no like inherent brewing flaws in this, but it's really like barely even a stout. Like I said, it's more of like a brown ale. There's not anything other than it being like slightly estery, where it kind of tastes like it was fermented at a little bit of a higher temperature than it should have been. It's not like some of the hitchhiker stouts that literally they're like metallic and have like legitimate brewing flaws in them. So it's kind of hard. I guess when I think about it, even if this was like a better base stout, I don't know that I would actively go out and buy it again. So I guess either way, I'm gonna call this a drink. On my scale of buy, drink, dump. I'll drink the rest of this can because, like I said, there's really nothing wrong with it. The one other good thing is, I mean, it has to be a little bit sweet to carry those flavors because ice cream, of course, is sweet. But it's not like an overly sweet beer, and it doesn't taste artificial either. So that, I do appreciate it. If it was like overly sweet and or artificial, I don't think I would even want to finish the can, so I'll give him credit for that. But yeah, I think that's all I got on this one. Please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.